in his 16 starts. So he needs to pitch a little better as far as his consistency out on that pitching rubber.
Pasednik, Ramirez, and Dye to get things started. And the first pitch wide, ball one. Pasednik has done a great job in phase 2 of his White Sox career, and Baker delivers high 2-0.
He's a guy, again, you want to keep off the bases. He's a career .319 hitter against the Twins in his career that started with the Seattle Mariners back in 2001.
And a strike. The All-Star break can serve as an opportunity for a player to turn the page, and Baker would like to get to that point with a .500 record at 7-7. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
A good fastball right there down in the strike zone, and that's what Mike Redmond's going to try to keep him at, down in the strike zone. He can get away with a high fastball in the first 3 or 4 innings, but when that fastball goes from 93 to maybe 90, that's when that ball flattens out a little bit.
Liner to center, and Gomez has to leap at the end to make the catch. Pasednik drilled it pretty hard for the first out.
One thing about Baker, he's not like Blackburn, that he has movement on that fastball. It's pretty straight when he gets it up, and right there to Pasednik, even though, you know, Pasednik hit it hard, it was a straight fastball about letter high.
Here's Alexi Ramirez. He got off to a slow start, but now he's found his stroke, and he takes strike one.
Baker very good, starts him off with that circle changeup for strike one.
Now down the line, foul, 2 strikes. Now the Twins won the opening game of this series against Detroit, or this homestand, I should say. They won the opening series 2-1, and then in the Yankees and now with the White Sox, they have faced 2 teams that really offensively have started to click. Yankees for an extended period of time. Here's a bouncer to short. Easy play for Harris. 2 down. But this White Sox team too, they were really struggling in April and May. They still have struggled for whatever reason at home, and so it's an extra challenge when you're facing a lineup that seems to be firing on all cylinders.
Ian again a couple of weeks ago challenged his team to step up and go as hard as you can up until the All-Star break, and I think this is kind of the turning point for the Chicago White Sox. They have been known to make some trades right around this time of the year. If they continue to stay in a race, it looks like they are going to, that the Chicago White Sox may make some moves to try to improve on this ball club.
And strike one to Jermaine Dye.
Dye only 2 for 17 lifetime against Scott Baker.
Swinging a foul, 2 strikes. Boy, and it's early on, but a completely different pace from Baker compared to his last start against the Yankees.
Maybe Rick Anderson, the pitching coach, said, hey, let's speed it up a little bit on that pitching rubber. Won't take so much time. Trust your stuff.
Swing and a miss. And a nice tidy 1-2-3 top of the first for Scott Baker. person up close for a couple weeks. The All-Star break, then a long road trip that'll follow. And the Menards batting order for the series finale. Denard Span leading off. Brendan Harris second. Then the All-Stars, Mauer and Morneau, Kadire. Joe Crede, 2 home runs last night. And doing very well against his former team. Then Mike Redmond, Carlos Gomez, and Nick Punto.
And the Schmelz Countryside Volkswagen looking at the Mark Burley making his 18th start. Named to his 4th American League All-Star team. And he's had great success against the Twins. 23-13 with a 3.72 ERA over his career. The 23 wins, the most wins against any opponent. He likes to work quick.
Maybe the quickest worker in baseball. That does not make him a bad person. Beautiful bunt up the line. If it stays fair, it's a hit. And Burley ducks out of the way and lets it roll foul. Smart play by Burley. He had no chance of throwing out Span.
Yeah, Burley, very good fielding pitcher. And right there went after it, but he kind of got a closer look at the rotation of that baseball as it was spinning toward the foul line. Right here, Span trying to take it with him. Burley getting over there and keeping his eye on it and getting out of the way as the ball rolls foul.
You're right. Pitchers are the greatest athletes in the world. Look at that athletic move by Burley.
Isn't that awesome?
And he was able to stand up afterwards. So a good bunt attempt by Span, but it's a strike. Now 1-2. Just off the corner, 2-2.
Burley will work very nicely with A.J. Pierzynski. Very rarely will you see him shake A.J. off. He's a lot like Brad Radke, who, was introduced to the Twins Hall of Fame yesterday. Brad mentioned, he wanted to thank all his catchers because he never really shook them off. Burley's the same way.
Span drives it deep to right. Gone. He missed with the bunt attempt, then clubbed it into the football press box.
A home run number 5 on the year for Denard Span. Got a fastball, looked like it stayed in, and Span puts the Twins up 1-0.
His swing and his stride remind me of a left-handed version of Paul Molitor, in that he waits so long and there is no stride. For Denard Span, if some hitters take a long stride, and Span just pretty much keeps his feet in place, and now Harris rolls one down the line. Rounding first, he's got an extra base hit. And the Twins with a couple of extra base hits early against their old friend Mark Burley.
Well, in yesterday's ball game, the crowd really didn't get into this ball game until, Crede hit the 3-run home run in the 5th. Crowd of over 41,000, but here today, afternoon ball game, boy, they're off their seats already. See Harris with a double for Harris. So a good start right here.
And here's Mauer taking outside, ball 1. One of the more peculiar nights in Mauer's career last night. 4 times he hit 2 or 3 hoppers right at the second baseman. And now, oddly enough, he comes up here in a situation he'd love to get a hit, but he'd like to do at least what he did 4 times last night and advance Harris to third base. 2-0. Mauer's not done particularly well against Burley. And he takes a strike.
Yeah, 5 for 25. He does have a home run against Mark Burley.
He enters this game with a 20-point lead in the batting race. Mauer at 381 and Ichiro at 361. Then there's a huge drop-off down to Rolen at 324. And Harris dives back safely. Throughout this homestand, the Twins have run into some outs on the bases and had a couple of costly pickoffs. Kadire at first here the other night. And a game or two before that, Denard Span at second base. Two and 1 to Mauer. 2-2. And Mauer strikes out. One away, and that'll bring up Morneau.
A big strikeout right there for Mark Buehrle.
And the DQ defense for the White Sox. Posednik, primarily a left fielder. He's in center today. Wise and Dye on either side. Beckham, Ramirez, Getz, and Konerko around the infield. And Pierzynski catching the 3rd straight game. Here's Morneau, and the White Sox put a little bit of a shift on for him. And Morneau hits it on one hop right to Ramirez for a second out. On the play, Harris goes to 3rd. So suddenly the Cuddyer at bat a big one here. The Twins want to take advantage of Harris's double with nobody out.
Well, the shift works perfect right here because Justin taking that ball right up the middle, and there's Ramirez, the shortstop. Gets the second out.
2 down, and Cuddyer. And he takes ball 1. It's been a good first half, unofficial first half for Cuddyer, and for the most part, a healthy first half. Snap back, going to be a tough play. Ramirez fires, got him. Good play by Ramirez, and the Twins get a couple of extra base hits, but just the 1 run against Mark Buehrle in the first. Jim Thome leads off the second for Chicago against Scott Baker. Thome's had a lot of big hits, solid hits in his career against the Twins. One of his softest hits last night was one of his most damaging. He had his bat shattered and drove in 3 runs.
Yeah, Joe Crady just hit a 3-run home run, put the game at 5-3. But Jim Thome with the bases loaded, double, scored 3 runs.
Landed between Span and Gomez, and that's not easy to do in the first place. Put one between those two guys, and then took a weird hop over Span, and all 3 runs came around to score. 2-1 to Thome, leading off the second inning. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Well, Baker with an 11-pitch first inning. And now a full count with Konerko on deck. Swing and a miss, got him. The Thome hit last night reminded me, and maybe some longtime Twins fans, of a play here back in 1984. Richard Dotson had pitched a great game for the White Sox. Tim Teufel with 2 on and 2 out in the 9th. The right fielder was Harold Baines, And Tuffle with a 3-run inside the park home run with 2 outs in the 9th, and the Twins snatched victory from defeat.
How hard that turf was back then. That ball bouncing in front of Harold Baines, and geez, it bounced way over his head.
I had a chance to talk with Harold Friday night about that, some other things, but about that play, and he remembers it like it was yesterday. And wasn't very long after that, not because of that, but then he became a designated hitter. He had some knee problems, swing and a miss, 1-1.
Yeah, Harold Baines, outstanding career. His son signing with the Chicago White Sox, now in the minor league system for the White Sox.
1-1 to Konerko. Ground ball to second. Punto has it. 5 up, 5 down.
Well, Baker hitting his spots. Good fastball right there. Outer half of the plate, down in the strike zone. And Konerko hitting that ground ball to Punto.
Well, the results certainly speak for themselves, but the most noticeable thing here is just the tempo of the game and the pace that Baker's going about his business.
Well, one thing manager Ron Gardenhire mentioned about Baker in his last start against the Yankees is that he wants to see him make adjustments. You know, you could go out there, you trust your stuff, you believe that you can get a guy out by hitting your spots. And you see Baker, I think here the other night, Baker would be walking around the mound right now where he's ready to pitch.
And the pitch is down around the shin guards instead of the catcher's mask, too. 2 strikes.
I talk a lot about bending the back, that he doesn't bend his back, but if you are lazy with your right wrist area, not pulling the ball through, that's also going to create that ball up. But so far, Baker really working good out front, right there, that nice little pop at the end. You need that pop at the end to throw a good breaking ball or a slider.
1-2 to Pierzynski. Cold foul, might have cracked his bat.
Everything is out front. It's just everybody's delivery is different. And Baker, as he comes set right there, good balance point. But you can see the right arm come through. And that's what you want. You want a quick right arm so you can work out front.
Now outside. When you say bend your back, what you're talking about, I think, is at one point in the follow through, you'd like to have Baker's back horizontal to the ground, right?
Yeah, it's just a matter of, you know, everybody's different. Baker, he's not one that, you know, that he's going to come through and, like Brad Radke, make his momentum carry him toward first base. He's pretty much straight at home plate.
2-2.
You can get away with that as long as you stay on top and work out front. Good changeup right there.
Pierzynski, one of the better 2 strike hitters in the league. Baker will reload on 2-2. Cracked his bat again. A pop fly. Morneau running it down and can't quite get there.
Oh, good effort right there by the All-Star Justin.
Just a half step short.
That's a good pitch, though. He went in on him, and Justin, good effort right there. Just comes up a glove short.
Pierzynski with 266 at bats. He's walked 12 times, 4 of those intentionally, and only struck out 26 times. So he, 2 strikes or no, usually puts the ball in play. And Baker finishes each inning with a strikeout. And Pierzynski tosses his 3rd bat of the at-bat in the air. By Progressive Insurance. Visit Progressive.com today. And by Comcast. Call 1-800-COMCAST to find out how to save big with the Comcast Triple Play. Joe Crede, Mike Redmond, Carlos Gomez facing Mark Buehrle. And the first pitch, a fastball up high, ball one. Crede cranked a couple of home runs last night. Also hit a rocket between the legs of Gordon Beckham at third. Fouled back 1-1. So Crede tagged the ball 3 times last night. Back felt well enough to play today. Of course, Crede will have a 4-day All-Star break to rest everything up. Inside, 2-1. And Crede and Buehrle, good friends off the field. And Crede drives a base hit. Both Missouri natives. Buehrle from St. Charles, Missouri, right outside of St. Louis. So a big thrill for Buehrle to be going to the All-Star game at Busch Stadium.
Crede in last night's ball game, there's a base hit right there. Buehrle just leaving a pitch up. Buehrle saying, I better get that ball down. Now, one thing Buehrle can do, he can get some double plays. 11 double plays turned behind him already. And he led the American League in double plays last year with 34.
He's had a tough time getting one out in the Mike Redmond at bats. He'll try to get 2 here, but Redmond, for whatever reason, is pretty much owned Mark Buehrle. 15 for 33.
It's a .455 batting average. Funny that Redmond isn't batting 4th.
And there's another hit for Redmond. Well, the Twins have absolutely no speed on the bases, but both Crede and Redmond deliver hits against Buehrle.
Well, Buehrle leaving some pitches up. He left that pitch up to Denard Span. Crede got it to look like a changeup up right here. Fastball out over the plate. Redmond going right back up the middle with it. And the 4th hit for the Twins.
Redmond had an 0 for 16 streak going. Now that base hit takes care of that. And here's Gomez. Decision for Ron Gardenhire today. Which of his 2 outfielders, Gomez or Young, to start? Both of them had good numbers against Buehrle, and Gomez up here in a possible sacrifice situation.
Well, he showed bunt, and then he pulled the bat back. Scotty Alger, third base coach, going through signs. Gomez, if he does bunt, would like to bunt the ball to Beckham at third.
A high drive, deep left field.
It's better than a bunt.
Way back. Gone! A home run for Gomez. And the Twins jump out in front 4-0.
Gomez hitting his 2nd home run of the year.
And he continues to terrorize Chicago pitching.
That little cutter right there, right into the swing of Gomez. His other home run coming in Chicago, but that against the Cubs.
Strike 1 on the outside corner to Punto. The only batters that Buehrle has retired are Mauer, Morneau, and Kanayer, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the middle of the lineup. Everybody else has gotten a hit against him. So a 4-0 start, and Punto chops it towards third. That's a foul ball. Foul ball, and Punto with the head-first slide, losing some equipment as he crosses the bag. It's the hope was, I think, for everybody, especially the field staff in the dugout, that Punto bruising his ribs the last time he tried that would cure him of the habit. Now here he dives into first base head first on a foul ball.
That's just the way Nick Punto plays. We see him diving all over the place. Sometimes ground balls right at him. He'll just dive just to dive. That's hard to take something away from a guy that, that's the way he's built.
One and 2 to Punto. And this one popped up behind Konerko. He'll go into foul territory and make the play. 1 down. For more on group tickets, here's Michael Cuddyer.
One of the best things about Twins baseball is sharing it with others, like with your customers, employees, or colleagues at work. Call us today to book your group at the Dome. Thanks for your support.
Well, there's a group. Maybe they saw Michael Cuddyer's commercial and bought all those tickets and then went out and bought some orange T-shirts. Here's Span taking a strike. Span on a 3-2 pitch. Team Vogel is here. Whatever that is. 2 strikes to Span, who had a 3-2 count in the first inning. Just about bunted his way aboard for a hit, and then he hit one off the facing of the football press box. This is Chicago's first trip here. And they will open the next homestand. Twins are, of course, on the All-Star break. Then they're on the road for a week and a half. And then the White Sox later this month open up the next homestand. 2-2. And another 3-2 count now to Span. And he draws a walk. I really believe Span very quickly will find himself with his All-Star break occupied. Don't you think this guy has the potential to be an All-Star for the Twins?
Yeah, he really does. I mean, he's a very good leadoff hitter. That home run in the first inning, his first career leadoff home run. Good eye at the plate. Buehrle does not walk that many batters. 26 walks now in 116 innings pitched.
Harris, who late in the game last night doubled down the right field line, in his first at bat today doubled down the left field line. And strike one.
Sundays have not been very good against Mark Buehrle over his career.
Here at the Dome, 15 innings, 12 earned runs, an ERA of over 7. Not counting against that record was a game here a few years ago on a Sunday night when he gave up like 6 unearned runs early in the ball game and came back and was the winner. Span takes off, and Pierzynski's throw not in time. Buehrle good at holding on runners. He's got a great pickoff move, but if he comes to the plate or anybody else comes to the plate, you stand a pretty good chance of stealing safely against the White Sox.
Well, Span got a pretty good jump right there. You know, AJ's throw, a pretty good throw right there. But again, you could look at AJ's numbers and they're not very good. But Span right there got a good jump off of Mark Buehrle. He steals his 15th base of the year.
Into the right field corner, but turning right, foul.
Now, Mark Buehrle, he won his first major league game here at the Dome. It probably was not a Sunday.
Apparently not.
That back in the year 2000. Buehrle making his 40th career appearance, his 38th major league start against the Minnesota Twins.
And now to right center field.
That's trouble.
And is down for a hit. Span around second. On his way to third, coming home. And Harris has his second double. And the Twins have a 5-0 lead. Harris hit it in a good spot. And again, he's been hitting in some misfortune with some line drives hit at people. And now a pair of doubles here today.
Just taking that ball the other way. It's Pasetnik that has to chase it down. Jermaine Dye just kind of held his ground in right field. So back-to-back doubles for Harris now with 15 on the year. And he drives in his 24th run. So the stolen base gets an RBI for Harris.
Here's Mauer, who struck out in the first inning. Bouncer to the right side. Joe having a tough finish to this homestand. On the play, Harris goes to third.
Gavin Floyd did a great job against Mauer last night, and right there just really pulled the string. DJ Carrasco warming up, as he did the other night here early in the ball game when John Danks started.
Here's Morneau. Nice block by Pierzynski, holding Harris at third. Ball one. Line to the third baseman to end the inning. But the Twins score 4 more. The big blow, a 3-run home run from Carlos Gomez, who threatened to bunt. And then he did this.
On my 29, Twins up 5-0 early in the ball game, and some people have been questioning the Twins lately, hovering around 500, wondering about the leadership inside the clubhouse. In the past, vocal leaders have emerged, of course, guys like Torrey Hunter, Johan Santana. I asked Mike Redmond this morning about that, if there's an issue, and he said absolutely not. This is Joe and Justin's team. Everyone knows that. And even though they're not the rah-rah types, he says, they don't take any shortcuts. No one questions their leadership. Bert, my question to you is, do teams really need those cheerleader type of leaders nowadays?
No, you know, the Twins were very fortunate, thank you, Jim, you know, having Kirby Puckett for all those great years. And, you know, he was a leader. He was the best player on the ball club. The ball hit softly down that right field line, and Getz will get a double, the first hit for the Chicago White Sox. But, you know, I came up in 1970, and Harmon Killebrew was really the leader of the ball club.
Yeah, but he was a rah-rah guy.
Yeah. And Harmon just did it. You know, you lead by how you play the game between the lines. And Twins are very fortunate, like Mike Redmond said, to have 2 guys in Justin Morneau and Joe Mauer that they feel that this is their ball club. This is, you know, this is their team.
It's a different personality than it was, say, when Santana was pitching for the Twins. Hunter was in center. Maybe Pierzynski behind the plate. Guardado was closing games. Swing and a miss by Beckham. I mean, those guys, you knew when they were in the room. You know, and now it's different with Mauer and Morneau, and to a lesser extent maybe Kadire.
Well, they're probably not in the room. They're, you know, in a batting cage somewhere working on their craft. Great article in the paper today by Jim Souhan on Joe Mauer. And I read it this morning. Well, I had somebody read it to me, but it was very, very well done.
1-1.
It had pictures too, which I liked.
And a liner to Harris. So Baker, who had a 1-2-3 first and second, Gives up an opening double and a rocket to the shortstop for the first out.
Well, this is a time to be more aggressive on the mound. Baker in his first 2 innings very aggressive. Threw only 29 pitches. Did give up the hit right here, but would like to get the next 2 guys out. Keep the zeros on the board.
Twins left Harris out on the bases after his double in the first inning with nobody out. See if Baker can succeed in doing that. Doesn't look like it. Here's a drive to right. Cuddyer going back, playing the bounce. A run will score, and everything hit here in the third has been hit right on the button. So the bottom of the Chicago lineup produces a run here in the third.
Yeah, RBI double right there by Dwayne Wise, picking up his 4th double of the year. A fastball pretty much right down the plate. And Wise just dropping the barrel of the bat, lining it off to Baggy, to Stanley. Baggy out in right field. And he scoots to second.
Here's Pasetnik, who lined out to Gomez to start the ball game. Swing and a foul. All right, now the White Sox have had some good swings on Baker here in the third inning.
Well, anybody would if they're right down the middle.
Right. But I mean, if you're Redmond now, you try to mix up the pitching pattern, maybe mix in more off-speed stuff.
Well, you try to move a little bit more behind the plate. Maybe, you know, put your body over more rather than sitting too much down the middle of the plate. Pitchers have a tendency to concentrate on the glove. Right there, they tried that 2-seamer, ball just ran away.
1-1.
Baker has good control. He's had only 20 walks on the year in 95 innings coming into the ballgame. He's given up 17 home runs.
Foul back, 1-2.
First 2 innings, first 2 or 3 innings for me when I pitched, it was always the excitement and the adrenaline flowing. And once you get into the ball game, that's when you really have to concentrate on keeping the ball down. You can get away with some high pitches early on because you're aggressive. You have that kind of a fresh arm. But as you get into the 30-40 pitch count, then that arm starts to fatigue a little bit, and that's when you really have to tell yourself to stay down in that strike zone. Mix in some breaking balls. Mix in that circle changeup.
The Twins jumped out early 4-0 on Friday, but the White Sox kept pecking away a run at a time and ended up getting the game tied up. Baker wants to make sure that doesn't happen here today. And now a 3-2 count to Pasetnik with Ramirez on deck. Looks like the Tigers are going to win. They're leading Cleveland 8-0 in the middle innings. Tigers have been in first place almost all year long so far. 3-2 to Pasetnik. Pop straight up. Harris round number 2. You can follow the Minnesota Twins on your iPhone and iPod Touch with MLB.com @Bat2009, featuring play-by-play, video highlights, and live audio broadcasts. Eric, is that what you got here? Yeah, my son Eric has that on his phone. Visit twinsbaseball.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase.
Now, how old is Eric?
Turned 14 about a week ago.
14.
Yeah.
And he already has his own phone.
Yep.
Wow. Spoil kids.
Doesn't know yet. He's not going to get a car till he's 25. 2 down, and here's Ramirez. Down and away, ball 1. Ozzie Guillen warned his team days ago. He wanted them to play hard through this weekend.
Hey, challenged him.
Right.
Yep.
Chop to third. Creedy charges, throws on the run, inning over. Pair of doubles, and the White Sox get a run on the top of the third.
Hey, little guy, you are hereby circled.
How old were you when you first went to a major league game?
About 15.
Really?
Yeah. Dodger game.
It's one of the best things the Twins do. They make it affordable for families to come, and special promotions to allow you to bring fans or kids, even though they're still drinking out of a sippy cup. 2 strikes to Cuddyer. He bounced to short to end the first inning.
Yeah, Twins do a great job as far as selling tickets, as far as keeping the price down.
And Cuddyer with 2 strikes on him dumps a base hit to right field. So the Twins got a leadoff home run in the first, a leadoff single in the second, and now another leadoff hit here in the third. You can ask us a question online at carsoup.com/baseball. Dave Wenthold of Bloomington wondering, Bert, what are you most proud of? Your no-hitter, your 242 complete games, or throwing out Ozzie Virgil at second base in the 1985 All-Star game?
I'd have to say winning the World Series in '79 and '87. That's my most memorable moments. But no, pitching and getting an opportunity to pitch in an All-Star game was pretty exciting. It was my second one. First one in 1973, and then my next one and only other one here at the Dome in 1985.
Creedy takes up high, 1-1.
Jack Morris actually started that ball game, that All-Star game. National League ended up beating us 6-1.
That one will reach the seats. That was the first All-Star game I actually saw in person. I remember Lou Whitaker for the American League had to go to a souvenir stand to get a Tiger jersey because somehow his jersey got lost.
There's Jack Morris.
Playing for his manager, Sparky Anderson, who led the Tigers to the World Series the year before.
And that ball game worked the first 2 2/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, a couple runs. Jimmy Key then got the final out in the 3rd inning. Then I worked the 4th and the 5th inning. Gave up a couple runs on 3 hits. With a walk, a strikeout, and a hit batsman. I got Darryl Strawberry.
Attaboy.
Never did like him.
1-2. What I'll remember most about that game is the near hit batsman. Nolan Ryan, who when Dave Winfield was with the Padres years before, what was it, 6 years before, 85, when Winfield was still with the Padres. 1-2, now 2-2. Winfield in his last at bat against Nolan Ryan, they were both in the National League. Winfield hit a home run and apparently took his time going around the bases. And then Winfield signed his deal with the Yankees. So Ryan didn't have a chance to pay his respects to Winfield. 3-2. Until the '85 All-Star game, Ryan was on the mound. Winfield stepped in the batter's box, and Ryan flattened him. Buzzed his tower.
Well, pitchers have a long memory.
This was an exhibition game.
Doesn't matter.
And Creedy fights off a tough pitch and stays alive. It's been a good series for Creedy with the 3 well-hit balls last night. His single leading off the second started a 4-run inning. Carrasco continues to warm up in the Chicago pen. Creedy lifts it foul near the Chicago dugout, and Konerko's over there to make the catch. Creedy retired, and that'll bring up Redmond. There's Bert Blyleven representing the Cleveland Indians. Now, how'd you throw out Ozzie Virgil at second base?
Well, a couple runs scored, and the throw was a little bit behind the catcher. And a little one-hop. Virgil trying to go from first to second.
The lone twin in that All-Star game was Tom Brunansky.
Bruno.
Ordinarily, it's nice for the host city to have more than one player in the game itself. And back then, in 1985, was the first year of the Home Run Derby, and it wasn't an individual thing. It was a league contest. Redmond with a little roller to short. We'll see if they can get 2 here.
I can't believe they wanted me to pitch, too.
Burley faces just 3 men in the 3rd, but the Twins have a 5-1 lead. By Menards. Save big money at Menards. And by free Wednesdays at Arby's.
There you go. You are hereby circled.
I found my laundry hamper. Jermaine Dye to lead off the 4th against Scott Baker. Strike 1. Just to finish the thought about the home run hitting contest in '85, it was a team competition. And the American League won on a walk-off, if you can call it that, ground ball to second, a walk-off home run by Tom Brunansky. So even though Brunansky played a bit part in the game himself, he won the home run hitting contest for the American League. One quick out in the 4th, and that'll bring up Jim Thome.
Well, one thing Baker doing a good job of, and that's getting strike 1. 9 of 12 batters he's faced so far. He's been able to get ahead in the count.
Thome struck out his first time up against Baker.
Yeah, Baker with 3 strikeouts in the ball game, no walks.
Nice job of pitching around trouble in the 3rd inning for Baker. The first 3 batters hit the ball hard, and then I don't know, you've talked, Rick Anderson has mentioned it, Ron Gardenhire, about making adjustments while you're out there on the mound. Maybe Baker making some adjustments to get Pasednik and Ramirez and keep the damage to a minimum.
Yeah, try to stay away from the crooked numbers, especially when you're given an early 5-0 lead.
I think what frustrated Ron Gardenhire and Rick Anderson was seeing the quotes from Baker after some of his ineffective starts, telling the media he knew what he was doing wrong and he would correct it in his next start. Well, the horse is out of the barn, and too late to do anything about it then. 2-2. And now a full count to Thome.
I think the hardest thing I have to read sometimes is when pitchers go 5 or 6 innings and they said, I did my job. No, I'm sorry. You go to work from 8 to 5, not 8 to 1.
Twins put a shift on for Thome, and Thome hits into the shift. Harris on the right side of the infield to Morneau, 2 down. Arby's trivia, our last one before the All-Star break. Where was the first indoor All-Star game played?
The first baseman, Paul Miracle.
You think Steve S. is watching? Because I know this one.
You know he's watching.
Here's Konerko. I'm not sure exactly when. I can guess. But it was in the mid to late 60s.
Isn't that the 8th wonder of the world?
Yes, yes. 1-0 to Konerko. Big swing and a miss.
Good pitches right there. Outer half of the plate. Konerko got a breaking ball his last at bat. Hit that ground ball to Nick Punto at second. Ron Coomer here the other night saying Konerko, one of those right-handers, likes that ball middle in so he can pull that ball. Now with 2 strikes, 1-1. Baker staying away.
And this is again one of the differences. Now Baker waiting on the hitter to get in the box instead of the other way around. 2-1. Now 2-2. Baker getting the return throw, a new baseball, standing right up there by the rubber. And it's Konerko stepping out of the box, trying to break the rhythm of the pitcher, as the Twins have tried over the years with Mark Buehrle. 2-2. Another full count. Just 58 pitches so far for Baker, who might be on the verge of completing 4 innings. An off-speed pitch on 3-2 and got a foul ball. To Paul Konerko. And Konerko to center. Gomez coming in, makes a nice running catch.
Well, he got a great jump.
A 3-up, 3-down fourth. And Baker getting some help from his center fielder.
Young man, you were here by circle. Welcome back. 5-1 in Twins' favor.
And Carlos Gomez, responsible for 3 of those runs, leads off the 4th. And he takes strike 1. Last year, Gomez hit for the cycle. He started the cycle by hitting a home run against Mark Buehrle. And finished it with an infield hit. To left center field, to the gap, and down for a hit. A ground rule double. And somebody's got to put a stop sign up for Gomez. So he's hit 2 rockets here. And a sight for sore eyes for the manager and for Twins fans. Gomez starting to have an impact in some games again.
Well, we showed you the number 6 for 16 lifetime against Mark Buehrle. 2 for 2 so far here this afternoon. Gomez catching up to that off-speed pitch, lining it in left center. Ball bouncing over the fence. And Gomez with his speed. You can see him look at the bag and then pick up the ball and then, whoa, come back. So Gomez with his 11th double of the year.
And Punto bunts it foul.
Good try right there by Nick Punto, getting Gomez, the leadoff hitter here this inning, try to get him over to third.
Gomez now on his hits has 66 total bases in 185 at bats. Delmon Young has 66 total bases in 192 at bats, but he's hitting about 40 points higher. There's a bunt in the air, 2 strikes. Well, Punto's tried twice now to bunt Gomez to third, and he has failed. And these are the little things. The Twins had a runner at second, Harris, in the first inning, doubled with nobody out. They didn't get him in.
Yeah, both times that bunt by Punto, not really a square around bunt. He's just trying to take the ball with him rather than just square around and bunt. Well, Punto's going to try to still hit that ball the other way.
And that'll get that'll get the job done.
Yep.
So Punto is retired. He has an at-bat marked against him, but he doesn't care about that at this point. Gomez to third.
Well, there are outs and there are productive outs, and right there a very good productive out by Nick Punto, advancing Gomez. So right there, you see that. Nice going, Nick Punto.
Pierzynski to the mound, trying to talk to Burley about how to approach Span here. Now the infield's going to come in. Span twice has worked the count full. In the first inning, he clubbed a home run. In the second inning, he walked, stole second, and scored on Harris's double.
Well, Burley over his career, he's averaged about 4 or 5 strikeouts per 9 innings pitched. He's not a strikeout pitcher. Span looking for a pitch that maybe he can hit to the outfield.
That'll work. And Span drives in a run. Gomez comes in from third. And Burley having one of his rougher games ever against the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, Burley making his 3rd start this season against the Twins. The other 2 in Chicago. He beat Nick Blackburn 6-2, and then Scott Baker 6-1. And right here, breaking ball just stays up, and Span keeping those hands back nicely. It's that soft line drive into right field. For Span, his 2nd RBI of the ball game, his 30th of the year.
2 doubles already today for Brendan Harris. The only guys that Burley has been able to retire, well, Punto, I guess, but Maurer and Morneau. He's pitched them very tough here today. Everybody else has been able to get on base and get hits. 9 Twins hits. A high drive to left field. Dwayne Wise going back. Harris with his 3rd extra base hit. And it's 8-1.
Home run number 5 for Brendan Harris.
And the Twins have teed off on Mark Burley.
Almost a golf shot right there by Harris. 3rd home run of the ball game off of Burley. And Ozzie Guillen walking out to the mound. Maybe to remove his all-star pitcher.
And Carrasco just started warming up, but it's his 3rd time warming up, so he's ready to come in. And Mark Burley cuffed around here and knocked out in the 4th inning. Came at a really good time. Brendan Harris with 2 doubles and a home run. And now DJ Carrasco comes in to pitch to Joe Mauer.
Yeah, Carrasco's pitched a lot of innings out of that bullpen. 53 innings so far, making his 30th relief appearance. Second most amount of innings out of any reliever in the American League with the 53.
Had a game on Thursday. The White Sox got just 1 inning from their starter Clayton Richard, who's been pretty wobbly here over the last month. Carrasco came in, pitched an inning and 2/3 and walked 5 men. 1-1 to Mauer. Mauer, of course, will participate Monday night in the home run derby. Swing and a foul. The field is complete now. Carlos Pena added to the team and the home run derby this morning. Dustin Pedroia is going to tend to his wife, who's having a difficult pregnancy. And so Ryan Howard, Albert Pujols, Adrian Gonzalez, and Prince Fielder for the National League. Mauer, Inge, Cruz, and Pena. Swing and a miss, and Mauer strikes out again. Having a tough time against the Sox in this series. 2 away, and Morneau, who won the home run derby last year, was gracious enough to stop by for an interview, and I asked him what advice he was giving Joe.
The hardest thing is when you're up there and you try and take pitches to give yourself a little rest, and you know, sometimes the fans see the ball, looks like it's right down the middle, and they want to see you swing, and then you start feeling like all eyes are on you, and yeah, you just have to remain patient, and Joe doesn't have any problem with that. I know that. So, you know, I think he'll just go up there, have fun with it, and you know, if he's only swinging at strikes, he's got a good chance of hitting a lot of home runs.
Morneau drives it to right field, and he peppers the canvas. Will round first, on his way to second, and he is out at second. So Morneau tries for the extra base, up by 7. He gets a hit, is thrown out by Jermaine Dye. And the Twins tack on 3 more runs in the 4th. Might be Dye's second best throw of the game. At the Metrodome in Minneapolis, last game of a long homestand. Twins hoping to win this series. A.J. Pierzynski slices one down the line, foul. 1 strike, leading off the 5th inning. He got some video there of the mascot game, the annual mascot game that was played before the real game. I was heartbroken that Larry the Liver wasn't here this year, but within the mascot game, which ended in a tie, Jermaine Dye was in the outfield stretching, and he came up with maybe the best throw of the day back to the infield. This one popped up left side, and Harris calling for it. So Dye, who ended the bottom of the fourth by throwing out Justin Morneau at second base, was able to tune up that throwing arm during the mascot game.
That was a good throw by Dye right there to get Justin, and a good base running by Justin. 2 outs. You want to try to get into scoring position. He's credited with a single. Took a perfect throw to get him, and that's what Dye did. Dye playing the carom off the wall, getting it back in quickly for the 3rd out.
Really nice tag by Ramirez too. This one bounced to the hole. Harris has to hurry. Getz can run well, but he's thrown out. 2 quick outs in the 5th. It was Getz who got the first hit for the White Sox in the 3rd. Wise followed with a double. That's been it. No walks, just the 2 doubles in the 3rd. And now Gordon Beckham. This is what the Twins are looking for more often than not from Baker in the second half. A strike. Twins rotation little iffy at this point as the All-Star break approaches. Kevin Slowey is probably not going to make what would be his next scheduled start. The wrist still bothering him. And Ron Gardenhire said today he is hopeful that come Friday in Texas he'll have a 12th pitcher. Now Slowey is activated. Got the sense that Gardy wasn't real optimistic about that. That would be the 12th pitcher. Obviously a position player would have to go, but the manager pretty adamant about not trying to go much longer with 11 pitchers. If they all pitch like this, you can get by with 8.
My tongue out yet. Very nice job. Very nice.
And you can circle both ways. Kadir, the pitch that came in on the handle of the bat, fouls it away, 1 strike. I mentioned that the White Sox, mentioned it earlier in this series, that the White Sox juggled their rotation to set things up for this series here in Minnesota. They moved Clayton Richard up a day on Thursday, and he only lasted an inning. There's a little pop-up behind first. And Urkel gives way to Getz, 1 away. You can make your way to the Dome every Sunday for Blue Bunny Kids Day. Buy an adult ticket in the home run porch or cheap seats and get 2 free kids tickets. Also on Sundays are autographs and fun on the Quest Metrodome Plaza, and kids can run the bases following the game. Tickets for Sunday games can be purchased at twinsbaseball.com or call 800-33-TWINS.
Well, so many games are played within your division. Of course, the Chicago White Sox, the Tigers, and the Twins probably fighting for the division lead throughout the rest of the season. And 72 of the 162 ball games played between the Tigers, the Royals, the Indians, and the White Sox for the Twins. So why not try to set up you want Danks, who's been pitching good. He walked 4 of the in that first inning, then settled down nicely as the Twins ended up winning that ball game.
Right.
And yesterday's ball game, Gavin Floyd has been outstanding. He pitched a great ball game, and Burley here today. I mean, he's been a Twins nemesis. He's 23 wins, career wins against the Twins. Today, his shortest outing of the year.
Carrasco drops down sidearm again, 2-2. But in doing all that, I mean, Danks got an extra day and had a tough time in that first inning. Creedy taps it foul. Floyd probably pitched better than the numbers indicated. That's how much in control of the game he was yesterday. But sorting or juggling the rotation to the extent they did, the White Sox, unless they can turn this game around, will go 1-3 in those 4 games leading into the break. 2-2 to Creedy.
Yeah, I'm sure Ozzie Guillen and Don Cooper are hoping to go 4-0.
Another tapper foul. The Twins will have 9 games left with the White Sox after this game. And then after the break, 12 with Cleveland, 10 with Detroit, and 12 with Kansas City. So the bulk of their American League Central schedule is in the second half. And a slow breaking ball, and Creedy misses it. 2 away.
Carrasco dropping down. I have not seen that from him over the years. His second season with the White Sox, but he came up with the Royals and spent 3 seasons taking something off that breaking ball, and Creedy swinging through it, giving some different arm angles.
And now Redmond. Redmond with a single and a run scored in the second. Bounced into a double play in the third. Strike 1. The Twins have been trailing the Tigers mainly because the Tigers have had a couple of week-long winning streaks. And the Twins haven't had that yet because the starting pitching has been inconsistent. Again, it looks like Detroit's going to beat the Indians. When things are going good for a team, when they're winning games and putting together a long winning streak, it's generally because the starters are on a bit of a roll. And the Twins just haven't had that yet. Again, dropping down sidearm with 2 strikes and missing.
As a starting staff, the Twins are 35-31 combined, a 4.60 ER combined ERA, and that's 10th in the American League. Where the Chicago White Sox, they're only 3 games over 500, but the ERA is 4.1, and that's 3rd best in the American League. And that's one thing the Twins hope is the second half, or if they call it the second half after the All-Star break, that the starting staff is a little more consistent.
And Redmond scalds one to center, his second solid hit of the day. Good to see Redmond go into the break with a couple of hits. Hasn't been the best first half for the veteran catcher.
Well, fastball or a little cutter right there. Redmond taking right back up the middle, almost deja vu of his first hit in the second inning off of Mark Burley.
Gomez with a home run and a double already. We can get a triple here. He could make a bid for his second cycle against Mark Burley and the Sox. Not going to happen.
He's going to have to run real quick.
Gomez retired. Twins are done in the 5th. On to the 6th. They lead by 7. of this game very early.
Yeah, good offensive day so far for the Twins. 12 hits, 3 home runs for the Twins. Denard Span got it going in the first inning with a leadoff home run. Then a 3-run home run by Carlos Gomez, and a 2-run home run by Brendan Harris. And Baker starting his 6th inning. That was his 70th pitch of the ball game. He shot at Dwayne Wise.
In the 5 completed innings, he's had 4 1-2-3 innings. Wise doubled off the baggy in right after Getz had led off the 3rd with a double, and those are the only 2 base runners. That'll reach the seats.
You know, in baseball, sometimes you're only as good as your last outing or your last at bat if you're a hitter. And Baker coming off that start last Tuesday against the Yankees, where he struggled for 3+ innings. But prior to that, I mean, the month of June, he was 4-0. He did have a 3.0 ERA.
To the gap in left center, Span chasing it and chasing it down on the track, 1 away. Nice running catch by the Twins left fielder.
Anytime a ball is hit in the air in that area, you have 2 guys that are center fielders, Denard Span and Carlos Gomez, and they can cover a lot of ground. Good running catch right there by Span, but Gomez also over there. You see both of them, and it's Span making the catch. They can cover some area.
Here's Pasetnik. Creedy gobbles it up. Low throw. Morneau reaches up the line to make it. Pasetnik walking up the box and chopping his way for the 2nd out.
Nice play right there by Joe Creedy.
Well, within the division, the Twins have the best record in the division. The problem is the Twins have had so many games against the East, and they've not played the East well at all.
No, 6-19 in the East, so hopefully we're done with them pretty soon. But Twins are holding their own.
Twins have Baltimore here, then they play in Toronto. That's it. Of course, the Twins have struggled with the Yankees. That's pretty well documented, but they sometimes it's not who you're playing, but when you're playing them. And when the Twins have, well, for instance, that road swing, Baltimore and Boston, the Twins just weren't playing well. It happened to be they were in Baltimore and Boston, and they lost a couple of 2-game series.
I remember those 4 games in New York. I mean, they could have went the Twins' way, 3 of the 4.
Sure.
So
that's, I think, probably the thing to take out of this homestand. The Twins would have loved to have beaten the Yankees once, twice, or 3 times, but I think the most disappointing thing for the fans I've talked to, the Twins played better against the Yankees in New York than they did here. And they didn't deserve to win any of the 3 games here against the Yankees. You could make the point that in New York they probably should have won 2 or 3 of those ball games. But for some reason here at home they came up flat.
Oh, because the starting pitching did not pitch good at all.
Right. 3-2 now to Ramirez. And a walk, first issued by Baker. It comes with 2 outs in the 6th. Arby's trivia question, I think, have to go down to the Houston Astrodome in '68, I guess it was.
8th wonder of the world back then. I remember when I signed with the Twins back in 1969. The next year I was invited to spring training, and I drove my car from Southern California to Orlando, Florida. And that's one stop that I made, was to the Astrodome. It was a beautiful place at that time, something that people had never seen before. Is the 8th wonder of the world.
Well, I know who will remember that game more than any other Twin is Harmon Killebrew, because he was seriously hurt in that game. He was at first base. Jim Fregosi threw across the diamond. Harmon stretched for the throw and didn't strain a muscle. He tore it and was gone for the rest of the year, I believe.
Good off-speed pitch right there by Baker. Dive way out front. Only 2 hits allowed for Scott Baker. Both of them coming in the third inning when the White Sox scored their only run.
2 strikes to Jermaine Dye. And now 1-2.
Right on top of home plate. If they go inside. Redmond going back out away again.
Dye punches a base hit to right field. Ramirez will round second and go to third. So that gets 2 men aboard now for Thome.
Yeah, his first 2 at bats, everything was away, and even this at bat away. And Dye, one of these guys that you keep pitching him away. He's an established hitter. He's just going to go that way. Inside out swing right there by Dye. He gets his first hit and the third for the White Sox.
Thome has struck out and bounced to short. And Baker drops a curveball out.
Yeah, good pitch right there.
Talking about the Twins and doing a good job of encouraging families to come to the Dome and watch the team. There's another good crowd here today. Lower section completely full. And the White Sox have had some issues attendance wise, and it ultimately might impact what they try to get done before the trading deadline. 1-1 to Thome. Pop foul and out of play. They had a 3-game series against the Dodgers. Well, granted, it was a midweek series, but against the team with the best record in baseball. And they drew just over 20,000 a game. A far cry from what they had hoped for. And attendance has been an issue in the south side of Chicago, which of course affects the bottom line and might affect whether they take on any payroll or not. 2-2.
Well, Jim Thome 4 for 21 lifetime against Scott Baker, and Scott's been able to strike him out 11 times.
Love to
big out right here.
Strand a couple of runners here in the 6th. To left field and deep. Span back at the fence, and that ball is off the top of the wall and gone. A 3-run home run.
Oh, this guy's so strong.
A 3-run blast has put the White Sox back in this game. And all of this happening with 2 outs in the inning.
For Jim Thome, his 14th home run of the year, a breaking ball, and this is the strength of Jim Thome. Just taking that ball the other way. His 555th Major League home run. Saw the way that Span went over after it. He thought he had a chance at it, and the ball ended up going over the fence.
So now 8-4. The walk to Ramirez, setting up Dye's opposite field base hit, and all of that coming in front of the home run. Ball 1 now to Konerko.
So you're getting that part of that ball game right now where starters sometimes say, well, I went into the 6th or 7th inning. I did my job. That's a bunch of bull, only because it's an 8-1 ball game and you kind of slack off a little bit. Now it's an 8-4 ball game.
And the phone ringing in the Twins bullpen. 1-1 to Konerko. Bouncer to short. Harris has all day to throw across. And that ends the inning. But the White Sox jump back into the game. Jim Thome's 14th of the year with 2 men aboard.
Ford, it's time to add a new winner to our Minnesota Lottery. And how about this? An 8-week-old Addison Hood here at her first ball game. And Dad, you said she's been outstanding.
Yeah, she has been nothing but good. Not a tear the entire game. I had one quick blowout in the third inning, but we're back and watching the game.
So, Mom, you were not worried about this at all?
Not at all. We're Twins fans.
And she seems to be a big Twins fan already. We'll try to keep her away from Dick and Bert, though. We don't want to disturb her here on the first one.
At least Bert. With Dick, you're all right.
Keep her away from those dome dogs.
Yeah, no dome dogs.
Create more blowouts.
And they get $100 worth of lottery scratch-off tickets for being in the winner's circle tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Dick and Bert, back up to you guys.
Interesting that Jim picks out those fans, and they've had pretty much the game experience we've had up here in the booth. 1-0 to Punto, and now 2-0. A new Chicago pitcher, and White Sox pretty excited about what they've seen so far from their young left-hander.
Yeah, Aaron Perea coming out of the bullpen, making his 9th appearance in his first stint here at the major league level. Got called up on June 9th from the minor leagues. Young man that has a very good fastball, has some good movement on it, hard slider and a changeup. Number 1 pick by the White Sox a couple of years ago out of the University of San Francisco.
Called up from Double-A. Like so many teams, White Sox had already exhausted all the prospects at Triple-A, so they called up Pereda. He was starting there. Very good fastball. 3-1 to Punto. And he walks him to start the 6th.
5th walk for Pereda in 10 innings worth of work, but 11 strikeouts.
The leadoff man tonight has reached and scored all 3 times.
Yeah, Denard Span got the offense going with a home run. His first career leadoff home run, his 5th of the year. His next at bat, he walked and scored, and then an RBI single in the 4th.
Strike on the inside corner. One of Span's strengths is his ability, his excellence, in fact, in hitting left-handed pitching. He's hitting them coming into the game at a .361 clip, and he went 2 for 2 against Burley. Checked his swing, 1-1. And central to his ability to hit lefties is his patience against them. In the first inning, he worked the count full against Burley, then hit the home run, drew a 3-2 walk in the 2nd, and singled in the 4th, early in the count. And that's one of the reasons why I really believe Denard Span's going to find himself in some all-star games before it's all said and done. At some point, it might not happen this year, he'll find a position in the outfield and stay there. And that could be any of 3 positions, left, center, or right. He's a good base stealer. He draws walks, and it looks like he's going to be a 300 hitter.
Don't be surprised if he takes another pitch right here. Pereda having a tough time throwing strikes. A leadoff walk to Nick Punto. 8 pitches. He's thrown only 2 strikes.
3-1. So the White Sox just climbed back into the game, kind of, sort of. 3-run home run. They're only down by 4. And Pereda comes out of the pen, walks the number 9 hitter Punto, and is in danger of putting Span aboard as well. Down the middle, 3-2.
Let's see if they sent Nick Punto right here. I would have to guess yes. Nick Punto needs to make sure that Pereda throws the ball home.
And he does, and Span fouls it to the net.
Pereda just 22 years old, 6'6". #1 pick by the White Sox, 25th overall in the 2007 draft.
Oh, they've got him picked off. Another runner picked off in this one.
That's why I said you have to make sure that he throws home. And Pereda just stepped off and quickly threw over to Konerko, and Punto, who was kind of caught napping right there, gets picked off. Yeah, see, he had committed too early.
And then Span walks. So first base refilled. Pereda has walked the first 2 batters. On Thursday, July 30th, you can hang with the Majors at Major Sports Bar and Grill in Bloomington. The event's a fundraiser put on by the Twins Wives Organization, and you can interact with many of the Twins players during a private dinner. It's only $100, and only 100 tickets will be sold. To be part of the event, call Majors at 952-835-8308. Here's Harris. 2 doubles and a home run.
Yeah, you got to tip your hat to the players' wives and the players for putting events on like this through the Twins. And they're going to donate a lot of money to different charities as the season goes on. Do a great job.
Eight total bases already for Brendan Harris. Harris can't catch up with that good fastball. 0-2.
Come on now. There we go. I'm going to circle that right there. That's the Parkinson's Association. It's Parkinson's Day here at the Dome. About 160 people here attending the ball game.
Long hold, and Harris asked for and got time. Indians starting their comeback. They got one in the top of the 9th. It's 10-1.
Here they come.
Two strikes to Harris.
When seeing Pereda for the first time, Jerry White keeping a close eye on him at first, the first base coach. Every time he is thrown over, he's thrown over basically just a quick throw over. He has not thrown over once he started his windup yet. See Jerry White helping Bernard Span read the signs from Scotty Alger at third.
Nice stop by Pierzynski, and now Span dives back on Pierzynski's throw.
That looked like a breaking ball right here. AJ, nice little stop on that one hop, and then throwing to try to get Span at first.
2-2 now to Harris. Span with a good jump. It's ball 3, and Pierzynski has no chance. Span swipes his second base of the day. Got a good read on Pereda and stole his way into scoring position.
Again, you know, AJ Pierzynski, you know, I mean, you're kind of helpless back there, really, when you get that kind of jump from him. He makes a good, strong throw, but Span now with 16 stolen bases on the year.
3-2 to Harris, who was behind in the count, 0-2. A foul keeping the at bat alive. We'll see if Pereda can walk Harris. It'll be the third straight walk since his entry into the game. Two steals for Span and a throwout percentage of 5. Harris taps it to third. Bobbled by Beckham. Everybody's safe. I don't know whether he was distracted by the runner running in his direction. Tough play. At any rate, Harris will reach, and the Twins have a threat here in the 6th.
That should be an infield base hit right here because Creedy almost made the same play off of Posednik. And they end up giving him an error. That's a tough little error right there on that hop. So Beckham charged with an error. That's his 8th error since being called up from the minor leagues at third base.
And Beckham, a big part of the White Sox future, but that's the part of the game that they were dissatisfied with Josh Fields at third base. Here's Mauer trying to head into the All-Star break with some good at-bats.
Remember when the Twins had Todd Walker? Todd Walker was asked to play third base, normally a second base, but kind of what Beckham's asked to do here for the White Sox. He's normally a shortstop. So it's kind of learning as you go at third base for Gordon Beckham.
Cleveland comeback coming up a little short. Detroit beating Cleveland 10-1. 1-1 to Mauer. Now 1-2.
Joe would like to get an RBI right here because he's going to go to the All-Star game and they're going to show him his numbers, and 50 just looks better than 49.
Yeah, especially when you've missed the first month.
Well, it's like if you win 19 ball games, you'd rather win 20. It just looks better. Would you rather hit 299 or 300?
My high school coach asked me that, but his question was, did I want to hit 199 or 200?
You hit that good?
Liberal official scoring in Staples High School in the mid-70s.
Your mother, right?
2-2 to Mauer. And now 3-2, and Pareda has thrown 24 pitches, just 10 strikes. And where would he be this inning without the pickoff?
Well, 2 sliders missing the last 2 pitches to Joe Mauer. Does he go back to that slider, or does he trust his hard fastball?
See if Harris takes off from first here. He goes, and Mauer strikes out, and Harris is thrown out. So the Twins come up empty-handed in the 6th, and Mauer has struck out for the 3rd time today. To the run total, but didn't get anything done in the bottom of the 6th, and now Baker in the 7th inning here hoping to have a quick inning, back to a 1-2-3 inning.
Well, Baker had 92 pitches, 63 have been strikes. He's given up only 4 hits in the ball game. A big blow off the bat of Jim Thome, a 3-run home run last inning.
Pierzynski will lead off the 7th. Then Getz and Beckham. The 6, 7, and 8 hitters for Chicago. 1-0. That's to left field. Span with the catch. So we talked about Pierzynski's throwout percentage, and he threw out Harris to end the inning. Just the 4th batter, the 4th runner he's thrown out trying to steal. Big out there, the first out of the 7th inning, and now Getz. This will be the 95th pitch for Baker this afternoon. Just outside, ball 1. Maharis and Guerrero warming up in the Twins pen. That's hit to center and hit hard. Gomez over to field the 1-hop single. And now Beckham will hit.
Yeah, Getz picking up his 2nd hit, a double in his first at bat in the 3rd inning. He later scored the 1st run. And now a 1-out single here in the 7th.
Beckham is 0 for 2. He lined out to Harris. Hit the stuffing out of the ball. Then he struck out in the 5th. And a line drive base hit, and the White Sox rejuvenated here. Have the tying run in the on-deck circle here in the 7th inning. A pair of hits against Baker with 1 out in the inning. And some anxiety in that dugout, and just a few moments ago it was an 8-1 ball game. And the White Sox got a 2-out walk, 2-out hit, 2-out home run, and that's going to be the end of the day for Scott Baker.
I think they would have liked to have Baker get through this inning, but a couple pitches up with 1 out. A base hit by Getz, 1 base hit by Beckham, and Baker's job is done.
Here in the 7th.
Well, he got some pitches up here this inning. He left up a pitch to Jim Thome that he hit the 3-run home run, and that pitch right there, I mean, credit Getz by hitting a good pitch, and Beckham right there. Ball pretty much right down the heart of the plate. He gets a base hit.
New pitcher and new hitter with Jose Maharis coming in, and Brian Anderson coming in for the White Sox.
Yeah, Maharis making his 33rd relief appearance, 1 shutout inning in last night's ball game. Very good 1.91 ERA for Jose Maharis. 25 strikeouts in 28 1/3 innings with 14 walks.
1-0 to the pinch hitter Brian Anderson. Wise had gone 1 for 2 with an RBI double. There's a strike. The White Sox have gotten nothing from their bench this year. 2 for 47, no runs batted in. The first pinch hit this year came from Wilson Betterment, and he was released. Dwayne Wise has the pinch hit, but it did not drive in a run. Maharis kicks it over to third. It'll be a hit. Just the third pinch hit for the White Sox this year. The bases are loaded, and here's Pasednik representing the tying run.
Ball hit right back at Maharis. I think it got his foot as the ball deflected over toward the third baseline. Well, Brian Anderson, who went 2 for 4 in last night's ball game, gets a pinch hit. Breaking ball kind of in on him. Yeah, hit the left heel area of Maharis.
So 3 straight hits from the bottom third of the White Sox order. Redmond out to talk to Maharis. Maharis has been very good against left-handers. Left-handers just 3 hits in 44 at bats.
Yeah, Maharis faced Scott Pasednik last night and was able to strike him out.
That's exactly what he needs here, with the White Sox threatening to tie the game up. $36,254 the paid this afternoon. And Redmond again to the mound. It's almost like last night's game in reverse, when the White Sox had a big lead and the Twins came back late. And the White Sox coming back on the Twins here in the 6th and 7th innings. Belt high strike. And Pasednik thought it was up high. Foul back, 2 strikes on a pitch left up.
Maharis with a good fastball, hard slider, occasional changeup off his fastball. Struck out 3 last night in his 1 inning of work. Pasednik being the final one strikeout.
2 strikes to Pasednik. Piece. These pitches, to me, are dangerously up in the strike zone. Up around the belt. Everything he's thrown to Pasednik has been up. Two strikes. Nice catch by Redmond. 1 and 2. Guerrero warming up. This might very well be Maharis' only hitter, depending on what happens. Another lefty, a few guys down with Jim Thome, but even in getting Pasednik, Ramirez would come up representing the tying run, barring a double play, of course, and wouldn't that be nice? To center. Gomez with the catch. A run comes in, and it's 8-5. A sacrifice fly for Pasednik. And Getz comes in from third.
That's a big out right there. Even though the run was scored, you got the second out here in the 7th inning. Ron Gardenhire coming out. It looks like Matt Guerrero will be coming in.
Guerrero, who's been so good, comes into a suddenly tight spot here in the 7th. The run for the out.
Well, the fastball out over the plate, a line drive, sacrifice fly right there. With Sednick, of course, very competitive. He wanted that ball maybe to fall in. Well, he does get the RBI, and it's an 8-5 ball game. Matt Guerrero coming out of the bullpen, he has been outstanding. Not a lot. He's just allowed 1 run over his last 22 appearances, covering 17 1/3 innings. He worked here on Friday night. Picked up his 17th hold of the year. 1 shutout inning.
Pitch through the middle of the Chicago lineup there. Here he hopes to get Ramirez and get the Twins off the field in the 7th. Ramirez 1 for 4 against Guerrero. 1 strike. Busted his bat. It'll be a tough play. Guerrero just safe at first. And now a throw across the diamond. A close play at first, and Ramirez beat it out, and Dye will come up with the bases loaded.
Oh, the speed of Ramirez right there. Guerrero a little late getting over. And Ramirez just beats out the base hit, infield base hit, right off the end of the bat. Ramirez, you can see him hustling down that line. And right there, Guerrero slowing up a little bit.
Bang, bang.
And the call going Chicago's way.
The tie goes to the runner in that case. Here's Dye with the tying run at first and 2 away. Swing and a miss. The biggest hit of the game last night for the White Sox was Thomey's busted bat hit. And now Ramirez with a broken bat infield hit. Smothered by Redmond, 1-1. Four hits for the Sox here in the 7th. Popped up. Punto ends the inning. A huge out on a tall pop-up. The White Sox get 1 but leave 3.
Span, a leadoff home run in the first. In the second inning, it was Carlos Gomez, a 3-run home run, his second of the year. That gave the Twins an early 5-0 lead. And Brendan Harris hitting his 5th home run of the year, a 2-run home run in the 4th. And that gave the Twins at the time an 8-1 lead. And Mark Buehrle, only 3 1/3 innings, his shortest outing of the year.
Remember how lopsided the home run totals were in April and into May for the Twins? The 3 home runs for the Twins tonight. They've now hit 96. And the home run by Tommy just the 98th given up. So Twins are just about even in the home run game this year. Nice job by Guerrero.
Brian Anderson, who pinched hit for Wise, stays in the ball game, and he stays in center as Pasetnik, the center fielder, moves over to the left.
We'll see what the Twins can do to create some breathing room. I think it's all gone. I don't think there is any breathing room anymore. Here's Morneau, Cuddyer, and Creedy facing Pereda.
Aaron Pereda struggled through that 6th inning. He threw 25 pitches, only 11 strikes, but able to get out of that inning.
He retired 1 batter, striking out Mauer. And then, of course, there was the throwout of Harris at second, prior to that picking off Punto, whom he had walked to start the inning. Strike 1 to Morneau. To right field. And halfway up the drape, Morneau will get second base this time. Getting in ahead of Dye's throw. So Morneau, who singled to the right field corner in the 4th inning, now lost a double against the drape.
I talked about the strength that Jim told me, how he hit that home run the other way. This is an off-speed pitch, and you can see Justin and his follow-through. Off the baggie. Dye has to wait for it to come down, and Justin, a stand-up double. His 23rd double of the year.
Pereda really has a tough time here today. He hasn't given up a run, but now an opening double. And newly acquired Tony Pena will enter the game for the White Sox. His first appearance against the Twins as a Southsider. By 3 runs. Michael Cuddyer hoping to push the lead up here against Tony Pena, newly acquired by the White Sox from the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, making just his second appearance as a Chicago White Sox in the Diamondback organization. He was there since he signed with them back in 2002. He came up and pitched for him in 2006 to this year. White Sox made a trade. They traded infielder Brandon Allen to the Diamondbacks, and that's all they need is another hard-throwing right-hander out of the bullpen.
His history is that of a guy who is pretty tough against right-handed batters. He does throw hard.
Tony Pena from the Dominican Republic, a fastball clocked in the upper 90s, hard slider and a changeup. There's a fastball right there.
Well, the White Sox have had a lot of hard-throwing relievers, but the thing that separates Pena from, say, Mike McDougall, who they tried, he throws strikes generally, doesn't walk a lot of people. 1-1 to Cuddyer. Oh, hit him. So Cuddyer will wear that into the All-Star break. I think a glancing blow. And the Twins will have runners at first and second with nobody out.
A little two-seamer that ran in on Cuddyer, getting that left elbow. Cuddyer trying to hang in there, but the ball just kept running in on him and getting the elbow. Ouch. That'll leave a mark right off that bone.
So here's Creedy. Single and a run scored. 1 for 3. Breaking ball and strike one. Creedy hit a 3-run home run last night. And he'd love to deliver, if not a home run, at least a hit to the outfield that might score Morneau. That's a great stop at third. And now across the diamond, no play for Beckham. It'll be an infield hit for Creedy, and they're loaded up. A run-saving stab behind the bag by the rookie third baseman.
A little mistake right here by Beckham because he makes a great play, but he looked at second base. He really had no play at second, and this is a youngster still learning the position. You see right there, by the time he does react, he needs to get the out at first right away. Right here, he couldn't get to the bag.
Third base, right.
To third base, and then the fake pump to second, and by the time he was, under control and through to first, it was too late.
White Sox have the infield halfway in for Redmond. Swing and a miss. And the Twins should have scored in the 6th, but didn't. And now they should score here in the 7th. And the way they're playing the infield, if it's hit anywhere, it looks like they're going to try to get the force at home. Ball 1-1. Redmond hit into a double play in the 3rd, but he has 2 solid hits bookending that ground ball double play.
A pretty good contact hitter. Red will try to drive the ball the other way. Looking for that probably fastball.
Little pop up. And the infield fly rule called, so Redmond's out, 1 away.
Yeah, looked like the slider that just kind of spun, and Red got just underneath it to create that pop-up.
First base umpire Paul Emmel waited for Getz to get underneath the ball, and then he ruled Redmond out. And now here's Gomez, who has hit a 3-run home run, doubled and scored in the 4th. And a lot of people looking in the Chicago dugout to see where the infielders are supposed to play. Middle infielders drop back here for Gomez. Open in.
A little surprised by Ramirez playing a deeper short only because of Gomez's speed out of the batter's box. He gets down that line very quickly.
Think they should still come home for a force?
I think they should, yes. Just move in just a little bit more. Getz not playing a deep second base.
1-0 to Gomez. 1-1. It's a good thing because it's against Minnesota's best and fiercest rival, but Gomez plays like an all-star against the White Sox. Has already hit a 3-run home run and scored a couple of runs here today. What can he do with the bases loaded and 1 out here in the 7th?
Confidence is a big key to hitting. Gomez has that against the White Sox.
Base hit, left field. 2 runs are going to come home, and Gomez delivers again. 5 runs batted in, heading into the All-Star break.
Confidence is a big key, and Gomez got a slider. That helps a lot, too, that just kind of spun right there. Yeah, a little cutter. And Gomez lining it into left field. Morneau scores. Kadire following him. And the Twins now lead 10-5.
Here's Punto with Span on deck. Chopped up the line. And I wonder how many Twins fans are like me. They haven't taken a good deep breath since the top of the 6th inning. Finally, a little breathing room.
Yeah, the 5 RBIs by Gomez. That's a career high in one ball game.
One strike. And now a ball. Runs for the Twins on 15 hits, 3 of them from Gomez. Now needs the triple to complete the cycle. Two and one. Strike on the outside corner to even the count.
Pena, 27 years old, from the Dominican Republic, last year with the Diamondbacks, 72 relief appearances. And back in 2007, 75 relief appearances, so he has stayed healthy.
He's faced 4 batters and retired just 1 so far. Now a full count. Punto drew a walk leading off the 6th. Pareto walked him and then picked him off. Spans had a good day at the plate, reaching all 4 times. Three and 2. And Punto draws another walk, and they are reloaded for Denard Span, who's had a good day at the plate. For more on Denard Span, let's go to Jim Rich.
All right, thanks very much, Dick. Well, you've mentioned it. It's been a big day, and here's a huge opportunity for Denard already with a couple of hits today, including that home run. He's been on a tear here at home, hitting over 370 at the Dome since early May. Spoke with him about it this morning, and he thinks maybe the turf is a big part of that success, and also the familiarity he has with the hitting background here. Because when he says he plays on the road, a lot of times it's the first time he's ever been there, and so that kind of takes a little getting used to. So let's hope he continues to smash the baseball here in this opportunity. Dick and Bert.
Thank you, sir. All part of the home field advantage. Hitters who just feel more comfortable in their home surroundings.
Sometimes it's the batter's eye. You get accustomed. Of course, 81 ball games played here. The backdrop.
Chopper to second. Just one play, another run will score, and it's a big run with Creedy coming in from third. And even though Span's retired, he's driven in his 3rd run of the ball game.
That ball softly hit right there. Getz decides to get just one out, and that's Span at first.
And now Harris. Well, the Twins double their lead here in the bottom of the 7th after a lot of fingernail biting and chewing in the top of this inning. Strike on the outside corner. Good day for Harris with 3 extra base hits. Strike 2.
Yeah, 2 sliders, one that started outer half of the plate to get strike 1, and that one started on the inner half of the plate.
Busted bat. Beckham fumbles it. Everybody's safe. Another run scores. Second error charged to Beckham on a Harris ground ball.
Well, Twins get a break right there. I don't care if you're playing short or second or third. This is a ball that has to be caught right there. A little short hop. He got his hand almost in the glove and then deflected away. Has no play. So a break for the Twins as Gomez scores the 4th run of the inning.
Rare is the game where we've seen Joe Mauer have 4 unfruitful at bats. Rarer still to have them back to back. He hit 4 ground balls to second last night, and today has struck out 3 times and hit another grounder to second.
He's almost like human.
1 strike to Mauer. That gets by Pierzynski, and another run will score. So Punto comes in from third, Harris to second, and the inning rolls along.
Well, AJ got down. Somehow that ball got between him and his glove and his shin guards. Take a look at the pitch right here. This ball just scooted right underneath through the glove. He thought it was there.
It's going to be a pass ball, isn't it? One and 1 to Mauer. And now 1 and 2. Gomez has driven in 5 and scored 3 here today. 1 and 2 to Mauer. I don't believe what I'm seeing. 4 strikeouts in a game for Joe Mauer. Brought to you by Dairy Queen, featuring the Blizzard of the Month, Girl Scout cookies. Well, Carlos Gomez has kind of stolen the show here against the White Sox again.
Well, good that day at the plate, a 3-run home run, a double, and that 2-run single.
Backup catcher Castro hitting in the DH spot here in the 8th inning. Last time the Twins saw the White Sox, the pop-up near the on-deck circle. And Morneau coming over, just over the barrier. Last time the Twins saw the White Sox, Corky Miller was still the backup catcher. And now Castro, like Miller, a good defensive catcher, is Pierzynski's backup.
They traded over to the White Sox for right-handed pitcher Lance Broadway back on May 30th from the New York Mets.
Tapper to third. Creedy charges. One down. That Guerrero was able to get the big out in the 7th and is able to go here in the 8th with a little breathing room. A big relief for the Twins, who did not want to have to be in a situation to use Bobby Keppel. In his last outing, on his last pitch, he tweaked his hamstring. And there were a couple of situations in last night's ball game where the Twins were tempted to bring him in, and Rick Anderson said, no, we can't do that. He says it's fine when he pitches, but when he runs, he can feel a pulling in the hamstring. And so Rick Anderson's position was, look, what are we going to do if there's a little nubber up the line and he has to run and then really pulls it, and then we won't have him available to us after the break. So the way this has all evolved here, a big relief for those three guys.
Isn't it amazing what pitchers will do not to run?
But now you were, of course, a starter, but you did a lot of running, right? In between starts and
a lot of distance running.
Right. Did you ever have any hamstring issues?
Well, I did a lot of stretching. Yeah, I did. I mean, I did it on the mound a couple times. Pulled a groin injury. But no, not really a hammy, only because I did a lot of stretching. But the hard part for me, for running distance, I would run 5 miles and then I'd have to take a cap back.
You never figured out you go 2.5 out and 2.5 back?
No, it took me a while, but saw a lot of interesting places.
And people, I suppose. Yeah. 2-1 to Josh Fields. Well, technically this a pinch hitting situation, and the White Sox actually got a pinch hit today from Brian Anderson, an infield hit. But the White Sox trying to decide whether they're going to be buyers or sellers or anything here. Fields drawing a walk. And I would imagine one of the areas they might want to address if they think they can win the division is to bolster the bench a little bit. Single game suite rentals are more affordable than ever before for groups from 12 to 30. Suites are available for games this summer beginning as low as $800. You can call 800-33-TWINS and let the Twins help you pick the suite that best fits your need for business and beyond. Here's Pierzynski. 0 for 3 today. Pierzynski started the series with 3 straight hits. Since then, he's 0 for 9. And Guerrero misses the corner, 1-1. As Bert said, Guerrero's been very effective as of late. That one poked down the left field line. Span with a nice running bobble. Span got there and then tried to make a kind of a basket catch, and I think it might have hit him in the breadbasket.
Well, he went a long way for this ball right here, and you know what, Span, good effort right here. The ball just kind of, I think, handcuffed him on the way down. You see how far he had to go get this ball down the left field line, and then right there he kind of lost it. See where this ball hits him, yeah, in the glove and then pops out.
So first and second, a single for Pierzynski, and that'll bring up Getz.
They gave A.J. a hit on that, huh? Now, to me, Harris should have gotten a base hit then in the 6th inning when Beckham tried to come in and get it on that short hop.
Gets with a pair of hits and a pair of runs scored. That Guerrero has done so well as of late. Ron Gardenhire credits in part the work that Bobby Keppel has done. You know, Keppel has kind of inherited the role that Guerrero used to have. Long reliever, being asked to pitch maybe a couple innings at a time. And because Keppel's done his job in that role, Guerrero has assumed a later role, which with it comes less innings pitched.
Right.
And that ultimately, the Twins hope, will give Guerrero the opportunity to have a better second half than he had last year.
Yeah, this time last year, Matt Guerrero making his 44th relief appearance, he probably had close to 60 innings pitched. And then he really struggled in that second half. Where this year, he knows he's pretty much the 8th inning guy, he and Jose Majares.
Bouncer right side. Punto gets the force at second. And gets. Reaches on a fielder's choice. First and third, 2 away. That'll bring up Beckham.
Third baseman, Beckham.
Beckham 1 for 3. Got a single in the 7th inning. The White Sox had a chance, a glorious chance in that 7th inning. And that's by Creedy. And that'll be a run for the White Sox, with Creedy visibly upset that that ball sneaked by him on the backhand side.
Well, Beckham picking up his second hit of the ball game, his 20th RBI. And that ball getting by Creedy very quickly right there. Creedy kind of looking at his glove saying, boy, I should have had that thing.
Here's Anderson, who got the pinch hit infield single off the leg of Majares in the 7th. One strike.
A run allowed by Matt Guerrero, only the second run he's allowed since the middle of May.
And it's an earned run because of the scoring ruling, giving a base hit to Pierzynski on the ball that Span didn't catch. Half swing and strike 2. Well, there's Bobby Keppel, who told me before the game today everything felt fine. He went out and did some running and his leg feels better. Twins would prefer not to use him. See if Guerrero can get through the 8th here. And a tapper to Creedy. He'll go to the bag to end the inning. 1 run for the White Sox. The Twins still lead comfortably as we go to the bottom of the 8th. board here. The Twins look like they're going to take this series 2-1. Scott Linebrink getting the bottom of the 8th inning.
See the numbers on Linebrink in 31 2/3 innings, 31 strikeouts with 12 walks. Linebrink in his second season with the White Sox. Came up with the Giants back in 2000. He's pitched for the Astros, the Padres, and the Brewers before coming over to the White Sox.
It'll be Morneau, Cuddyer, and Creedy. And for those of you who are wondering, the Twins need a couple of runs or a couple of base runners to get Gomez to the plate in his attempt to get the triple and complete the cycle. Josh Fields in at first base. Morneau with a single and a double his last 2 times up, both of them against the fence and right, and he tried to hit it over the fence on Linebrink's first pitch. Linebrink off to a very good start. On the center, but he hit it on the barrel so hard that Anderson's able to make the catch of the line drive, 1 away. Very good against righties and lefties. And the White Sox concern for Linebrink, similar to Minnesota's concern regarding Guerrero. They want to keep him healthy. Last year he kind of broke down a little bit in the second half. And they know that they really are going to need him to stay in the hunt in the division. Here's Cuddyer. One strike. Fastball taken for a strike.
Yeah, Linebrink, one of those pitchers. He comes straight over the top. Good fastball in the upper 90s. Hard slider. He has a split finger. Curveball. Got it all.
And he gets Cuddyer on 3 pitches.
That's the curveball right there. He picks up a strikeout.
The kids can help make your the Twins can help make your kids' birthday party a day to remember. The Broadway Pizza Birthday Pack allows you to bring the birthday boy or girl and their friends to a game and get plenty of extras. Call 800-33-TWINS or log on to twinsbaseball.com and get all the details of the Broadway Pizza Birthday Pack.
Yeah, it might have been that split finger that dropped straight down. So Linebrink retires the first 2 here, the bottom of the 8th.
Creedy taps it foul.
Linebrink, 32 years old, signing a 4-year contract with the White Sox over the winter of 2007 as a free agent.
One and one. Contractually, that was the biggest indication of how the game has changed and the demand that teams have for guys who do what Linebrink does. Another tapper foul. To extend to a pitcher a 4-year guaranteed deal when the role is limited to setup duties.
You see the split finger right there. He had shoulder issues last year, missed about 5 weeks toward the end of the season.
It's hit to the gap in right center, slicing away from Pasetnik, or Anderson rather, but he glides after it to make the catch. And Linebrink has a 1-2-3 8th inning. I think of all the signs I've seen this year, that's my favorite one right there. That was great.
Very well done.
Well, Bobby Keppel will come out and try to make a quick work of the White Sox here in the 9th inning. Here's our game reset.
Carlos Gomez having a good day at the plate, as Denard Span is, or has. 15 hits for the Twins, 3 home runs. They lead by 7. Bobby Keppel, he has been almost perfect. 11 1/3 innings pitched so far out of relief, making his 5th relief appearance. Only 6 hits allowed, 5 walks, 1 intentional, with 6 strikeouts. He's not allowed a run.
And he said on his last pitch when he pitched against the Yankees on the 8th of July, he felt a pulling in his hamstring. 2-0. And now 3-0. And the Twins have been a little cautious with him, and he's convinced him he's ready to go. But he issues a 4-pitch walk to Podsednik. So Podsednik aboard to start the 9th inning. That'll bring up Ramirez.
Well, one thing we have seen Keppel do, and that's one thing that he had trouble doing with the Mets, is attacking the strike zone. His control was a little bit off. He's been at the major league level with the Royals and the Rockies. And there's a strike.
Well, the rule in baseball is you have to have both feet in the box, right?
Once you make contact, yes. You cannot.
Right.
After you make contact, right.
There's a sharp single to right. Podsednik will go to set.
Well, he's got that line down. I mean, he knows exactly where he is. Once he picks up that left foot is right on the line.
I was just thinking, though, remember for years we'd stand up here and we'd see Frank Thomas, whose back foot was on the other side of the back line. And now they got a good player in Ramirez who almost steps out of the front of the box.
You see him right there. I mean, he stays in the box. He knows where he is. Oh, Matt Lawton, a former Twin. I mean, he was actually out of the back of the box many times.
First and second, nobody out. Here's Jason Nix. Snap bat, and Harris fields the ball. They get the force at second base. So the ball and most of the bat heading in Harris's general direction, and the Twins get it out here.
Yeah, no chance of a double play right there. The ball softly hit, but Nix beats it out. The Twins have 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th.
Castro, the hitter, he bounced out to third his first time up.
Good wood right there by Nix. Harris making sure he gets 1.
Over for a strike. Again, Ron Gardenhire saying that on Friday he hopes for and expects to have a 12th pitcher. Who that is, he has no idea. Left open the possibility of the Twins bringing somebody in from outside of the organization. Castro with a base hit to left, and Keppel gives up a run.
Well, Castro picking up his first hit here tonight in his second at bat, taking over for Jim Thome in that DH spot.
Fields coming to the plate, walked and scored in the 8th. With Beckham getting almost all the playing time at third base for the White Sox. There's some who think that if Fields has a future in Chicago, it'll be as a first baseman. It's a chopper to Creedy, and he fires across out number 2. Paul Konerko's contract is up after this year. And the White Sox are down to their last out.
Can you see the White Sox without Paul Konerko?
I can't, no.
I cannot.
Actually, Konerko signed through next year. So let me correct. It's Comey's contract that's up after this year. So 2 down, 2 on, and Pierzynski getting one more round of boos here in Minnesota. Strike one. And now a ball. One and two.
Good slider right there by Keppel.
And for the Twins fans in attendance here today, they'll have their next opportunity to see the Twins. They'll have an opportunity to boo Pierzynski again, because again the White Sox open up the next homestand in a couple of weeks. 1 and 2. High chopper over the mound. Punto fields, throws, got him.
What a play.
Good way to end the homestand in the first half of the season. A great play by Punto, and the Twins take this series 2-1.
Well, the Twins not only brought the bats with them here this afternoon, they also brought some very good defense. Carlos Gomez having a great day at the plate. Bernard Span having a very good day at the plate.